We met back in January of 2009. Josh is from Columbia City. I'm from Syracuse. And we were kind of just inseparable. After about a year and 9 months, Josh proposed on September 10th, 2010. And then exactly a year later, on September 10, 2011, we got married.
Renee started popping in the idea of adoption. It wasn't actually a decision that we had first come to. We battled with infertility, and we struggled with that for a while, tried to see if we could make things work, and it just wasn't going anywhere.
And so just to grieve that whole process of, okay, this just isn't going to happen. We're not going to have a child that's going to look like us. But we were okay with that. We were open to either gender, any race. We were pretty open to a lot of complicated medical history, not necessarily special needs, but just, a history of depression, anxiety, substance abuse, things like that. It was end of August 29th, 2014, we got the phone call. So because Jacoby was an exposed child, he was diagnosed in the NICU with something called neonatal abstinence syndrome. And so that's just the drug exposure that he had. Well, he was also born with a condition called microcephaly, which is where the brain and the head are smaller than normal. So he's going through his therapy, and we're just noticing, which is common, that there are some delays here and there. We decide to have a brain MRI done, and we are just kind of starting to have some of these doctor's appointments, and we're starting to put a few of these pieces of the puzzle together as to what is going on with Jacoby. And so we find out that he has this rare genetic disorder, and kind of finding out what areas can be affected from this genetic disorder. So then that kind of leads us in other areas of, okay, we need to see a cardiologist. Okay, we need to see a GI doctor. And I don't know, he's got like a dozen doctors now. And
I mean, to this was our new normal. So it was just, this is what I got to learn. And so I learned what I had to, and here we are. So
I told Josh, I don't think I could parent a neurotypical child after parenting Jacoby.
After everything we've had to go through with Jacoby, and all the doctor's appointments being a normal part of our life, once we knew that we were going to do adoption again,
special needs just made sense.
Yeah, it just made sense.
When Ivy's picture popped up, she was already born, she was in the NICU. There was just like something about her that I just couldn't get out of my mind. There was still a learning curve with Ivy. She does have a G tube, which Jacoby never had. We didn't know about the airway issues then, which came about later. But yeah, I couldn't get her out of my mind, and we were like, okay, let's just do it. So we had first reached out to Joe's Kids more as a necessity, because there really wasn't any other option for us. And we reached out to Joe's Kids, and they were able to put us in with a amazing occupational therapist there. Ivy is globally delayed, and so she needed occupational therapy, speech therapy, physical therapy, developmental therapy. So Jacoby does occupational therapy, and Ivy does occupational therapy and speech therapy. They both have the same occupational therapist, and we don't see as much with Ivy just because she does do things at her own speed, which is slow. But Jacoby, oh my gosh, just the difference in him from this time last year. We've learned how to regulate a lot of his sensory stuff, different tips and tricks on how to just get him to calm down. He has since been diagnosed with fetal alcohol syndrome, which it's a very impulsive diagnosis, and we have been able to learn how to rein some of that in, which has been a huge tool for us. And so Joe's Kids has such an amazing place in our heart right now, and Jacoby will be going there for probably a long time. Ivy will be there for a long time too. And we're, even basing where they're going to school around just the accessibility because they're going to have therapy that we're going to have to pull them out of school for. And they have just been such a blessing. The financial burden of having special needs kids, people don't understand what that's like. And for people to be able to donate to Joe's Kids, they're able to give an opportunity for these kids to have the therapy that maybe their family can't afford. We have had so many people just reach out. Thank you for being a community.
Like I said, it gives our children, a chance at a normal life. Ones that they wouldn't be able to have without the support.
If we didn't have a facility like Joe's Kids in our area, it would put an even bigger financial burden. It's a lifesaver. So because of Joe's Kids and the community just surrounding us and just surrounding Joe's Kids in general, we have been able to see our kids thrive. The future is bright for the progress that they're going to be making. There's a lot of progress still to be made, but just knowing that the resources are there for us, the support is there for us, the support is there for our children, the encouragement that they get, it just makes my heart so warm.